Fast forward, you come over channel so high gauge politics avenue. Podcast was a training because making headlines. Nigeria need to be extra more. Need young Braximo. Best of say young Queen Simon. Your Queen Sima and the Attorney General. Etimi Akasa ewo a year president meeting with the CXOs. No. In the fight against illegal mining. Now what check politics say a year Wontumi mining. Umbu money ingu munsem so cry. Now wamano. And the Ekopim Yambo Monday, a year on the 6th of October, Wontumi were inviting personally, say Umbra. So Wama were the task force Elko Akochen or Encrying. Now, what kind of no, I want so say the document Libya a set, docket Libya a radio, or Modino Elquakojina a Yambrano and Chakra. Measure Simon Simon, Nihone Deba.
And Minister for Justice. Dr. Dominic Akroma Ayini to take us through the legal steps that have been put in place to make the fight even more robust. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, and good afternoon, my fellow Ghanaians. In terms of the legal steps, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has underscored the fact that legal and regulatory reform is at the heart of what we are doing in order to change the narrative about illegal mining. So one of the things we have done is to review the Minerals and Mining Act. And I have advised the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources that the current state of the law is such that licenses and leases can be granted over the whole territory of the Republic of Ghana. That includes forests, that includes the territorial waters and the exclusive economic zone. So the first thing to do is for us to streamline the Minerals and Mining Act. And for instance, in respect of mining in forest reserves, we will put a provision in the statute, in the bill, when enacted, that will prohibit mining in forest reserves completely. And I have told the minister that one of the things we can do is to identify all the forest reserves and put them in a schedule attached to the bill and make it categorically clear that no license for mining activity or lease for the conduct of mining can be granted in respect of all the forest reserve attached to the statute. Now that means that at any point in time that the law, the position has to change, they have to go back to Parliament and then review the law, which makes it politically more difficult. Also, we have prepared an instrument that is LI 2505 in my office, and that will be laid in Parliament on the 14th. The Minister and I have agreed that on the 14th of October, when Parliament resumes, we'll lay that instrument to revoke the famous LI 2462, which is to tamper with, with our forest. So immediately it is laid, within 21 days, it matures, and from that time onwards, we will not have LI 2462. Now, in terms of prosecutions, the statistics that were given included 1,400 arrests. 1,400 arrests. Now, the biggest problem we've had with the arrests is the 48 hours rule. Constitutional principle that we must bring them before the courts within 48 hours. Most of the judges have been granting them bail. So I remember the point that was made by Colonel Boa. When we arrested 9 people in Kumasi, he called me and I told him that immediately place them before the court and then ask for them to be detained so that we do our investigation. When they appeared before the court, Your Excellency, they were granted bail. Okay? Then they went back. He was very good in monitoring them. They went back into the forest. So I told him that even despite the fact that they've been granted bail, because they have gone back into the forest, they've committed a new offense. I asked him to arrest them, but to bring them to Accra, instead of placing them before a court in Kumasi. And I'm dealing with them now. They are in detention. We will not release them. We will make sure that even if the High Court says we should grant them bail, we'll go to Court of Appeal and go to the Supreme Court to ensure that we hold them until the dockets are prepared and then we send them to court. Currently, we have initiated prosecutions in 65 dockets. And Mr. President, there's a difference. When we say 65 dockets, it is not 65 individual persons who are being prosecuted. Some of them are more than 10. In fact, there is one case in the Western North. There are 28 minors that are involved in that prosecution. So the 65 dockets, by my calculation, contains about 600 persons that are illegal minors that are being prosecuted. And I'm happy to announce that in 2002, the police conducted very diligent investigations in respect of Akonta mining. But the docket was hidden until we came to power. In fact, when we came to power and I started the investigation with the the Lands and Natural Resources Minister and the Forestry Commission, we were finding it difficult to get information. Subsequently, the police themselves owned up and presented the docket to my office 2 months ago. So as we speak, the charges against Chairman Wontumi, Akonta Mining, and 5 others have been signed as I speak. Currently, we are waiting for him to be read his right to remain silent, etc. Before we've asked that he should be brought from, Kumasi. His lawyers asked that he should be brought on Tuesday, but I'm insisting that he should be here on Monday. If he doesn't come on Monday, I'm going to order for his arrest so that he'll be brought to Accra. His rights will be read to him, and then we can start the prosecution. We have also put in place certain measures to ensure that the prosecution goes faster than normal. We have approached the Chief Justice, who has agreed to assign specialized courts for the prosecution of illegal mining cases. And I have laid before Cabinet, on Tuesday, Cabinet will meet and approve the public tribunal's bill, which will go to Parliament on a certificate of agency. And if by December the tribunals are in place, most of the circuit tribunals will be given exclusive jurisdiction to deal with mining cases. And we will appoint the chairman and panel members of the tribunals, give them timelines beyond which they should not carry a case. So, for instance, we will insist that every mining case should end within 6 months. If there are reasons for you to appeal, that is fine. But the tribunal must deliver its verdict within 6 months. Currently, we don't have those statutory timelines in CI 47, that is the High Court Civil Procedure Rules. So I want Parliament to help me to put those timelines in the tribunal's bill so that the tribunals will do the cases very fast. So, Mr. President, this is where we are in terms of the legal steps. And as I said, law enforcement, regulatory reform is at the heart of what we are doing. And we will not spare any person, in terms of the accountability for their destruction of the environment. Thank you very much.
Very much. Honorable Dominic Ayini, Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Now, we have seen very disturbing photos and videos of our pristine water bodies turning murky and filled with toxic.
Ghana Immigration Service, because of the foreigners in the space who are not legally authorized to do mining in that small-scale sector. And then we have Narcotics Control Commission. There's a lot of drug issues when you get to the Galamsey site. Of course, we have the chiefs, we have a lot of local informants, because it is a collective effort. The small-scale miners are involved. They have an association who give us a lot of insight into what is happening on the ground. And together, we forge ahead in the fight in this unified manner. I must say that we have the Blue Water Guards who are doing marvelously well. They are more or less like the eyes and ears along the riverine communities. So what happens is that they are deployed, about 1,000 of them, almost 1,000 of them are deployed, and they give us a lot of information on the operations to conduct. Then also, we have the local chiefs who also assist us with information. I know what I'm... So what is NAMOS doing? What is NAMOS doing? Because we are combining both kinetic and non-kinetic effects. When I say kinetic refers to the brute force, the use of the military and the police in the trenches, in the water bodies, in the forest reserve, which the soldiers and the police are good at doing, clearing the illegal miners from the space. This is enforced with technology, the use of drones and surveillance. Aside that, the addition we are bringing on board is a non-kinetic one, which is the soft approach. So for instance, we are leveraging on the knowledge of the chiefs because they are the owners of the communities and they know. So aside what government is doing, we are also as NAMOS engaging the chiefs. We go to the communities and sensitize them on the harmful effects of the illegal mining and the fact that they know these illegal miners. They should give us information when they come on the ground to perform the illegal mining activities. We also work with the security on the ground. So NAMOS doesn't work alone. We have already existing military units, police stations, the national security infrastructure, whom we work with, so that the fight will be a more unified one. Of course, I mentioned technology, which plays a key role in the fight against illegal mining. Now, tracing to the big fishes is one area we take very important. Many a times you go to the site, you see these young boys who are desperate for a little bit of money to take care of themselves. We say that we should dig and look inside the veil, behind the veil, who are those there? And that is where the Honorable Attorney General is helping us so much. So we trace, investigate, and question, and find out who are the real people behind the financiers, because they are the ones that can lead to dipping the Galamsey menace in the bud. So we are also working at tracing the financiers and the influential people behind the Galamsey. Now, what are the achievements of NAMOS so far? Since May, we've been working in close collaboration with the police service, the Ghana Armed Forces, and all the other agencies which have been operating task forces. Luckily, we have been able to unify them. But I must say that, as His Excellency said in about 3 weeks back, about the 2 outstanding forest reserves, about a week and a half ago, we were able to take those forest reserves, that is the Achuman-Ponia Forest Reserve, which was very decisive, a 4 or 5 days operation. We did that concurrently with the Desiree Forest, so the 2 are now free of illegal miners. Finally, we handed them over, and then 2 days after, some people decided to go back. With the ground intelligence, we quickly went in massively, and we subdued those armed gangs. And currently, they are in their cells, and Honorable Attorney General is leading in their prosecution. That is what NAMOS is going to do going forward. About 450 excavators have been seized at various police stations and barracks locations, and the necessary registration and tagging is ongoing. Currently, as I speak this morning, one of my deputies and a team from the various organizations, Forestry Commission, Minerals Commission, are off to Kumasi to register all those ones we have in safe custody. They will go around the whole country, all the lodgement areas, and make sure that the state gets a full hand on all these seized excavators and take the necessary decision so that they don't go back into the illegal mining sites. We have over 1,400 people arrested and at various levels of investigation and prosecution. The Honorable Attorney General, I'm sure, will speak to these ones. Over 500 chamfans. In fact, 500 is an understatement. They have all been destroyed. And I've told my troops that they should be brutal when they get to water bodies and there are chamfans inside. We will not bring chamfans out because it is at a cost to the state and they may not even be serviceable. So the best thing is to damage, destroy, and burn them completely in the water bodies, and then later we'll go and clear the debris so that the chemicals and the corrosion can go off the water. So that is what we are doing, and it's a bold step. We will not stop doing that. We'll continue to burn them in the water. The forest reserve, whatever equipment we cannot use, we will damage them, including excavators. We'll scatter them into pieces in situ. Over 1,000 pumping machines. I must say that about 900 have already been presented by the Honorable Minister for Lands and then Agriculture to farmers who are putting them to good use. As I speak, I have about 150 still in the NIMO stores ready to be presented to the farmers so that they can be put to better use than destroying our environment. Then also, there are a lot of weaponry in the Galamsey sites. There are some of them we've seized. We are processing them. We'll be handed over to the Ministry of Interior and the National Security Secretariat so that the necessary disposal actions can be carried out. I must say that there are some vehicles that were seized from illegal mining sites. They are no longer for the owners. The Honorable Attorney General has told us that he's going to help us to seize them. We will seize them as soldiers. But the Honorable Attorney General will help us to secure them legally. Once we get them legally, we'll continue to use them for our operations because we need these resources to carry out the operation. It's a better use than using them for illegal mining. So going forward, I must say that what should Ghanaians expect? There's a lot more. The NIMOS is going to deploy fully, firmly, as the Minister has been highlighting, across the length and breadth of the country. In fact, we've zoned the whole country into 7 illegal mining zones or regions, and further sectorize them into 21. And we're going to deploy troops enough at every center. They will be there 24/7. The illegal miners think they can operate in the night. No, we will picket every location and make sure that life is made unbearable for them going forward. And we'll be ruthless with them because they are environmental terrorists, as Dr. Kanashigbe used to say. They are terrorists and must be treated as such. We have only one Ghana. We need to do everything possible to protect it. The 21 zones we have been given focus by His Excellency the President. Every water body within those zones, every forest reserve, the roads and railways which are being dug, and then foreigners who have come to destroy our environment, we will focus on those areas and make sure that those who are mine legally have the access to the legal areas to mine sustainably. Very soon, NIMOS will have a 24-hour toll-free line. And these lines have been procured. We are just renovating the secretariat, and all citizens will have the right to call in. If you see any illegal mining going on anywhere, say something, do something. We will create the opportunity for you to say it so that we can analyze 24/7 and send the troops who are on the technology. There are a lot of drones. We're collaborating with the National Signal Bureau to get the drones and the right technology so that once we deal with a place, we are able to see or follow through with the surveillance of the place and don't get the return of these illegal miners. So, His Excellency, Mr. President, with your permission, I would like to send this warning to illegal miners, their assigns and financiers, that they are the first or prime enemies of the state, and they will be dealt with as such. There will be no room for them to escape or to hide. NIMOS will smoke them out very soon. There's no resting place for them. They should get ready and be assured that very soon our waters will turn blue and our forests will turn green. We have already trained over 400 troops who are the first batch deployed or under deployment to sensitive areas, we'll continue to deploy more so that we will all go to bed knowing that NIMOS is firmly on the ground and illegal mining will be a thing of the past. So all illegal miners, galamseyers, their financiers and assigns, beware. NIMOS is closer to your bases and there will be no hiding place for you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Colonel Domlegua, for that presentation. So Colonel Domlegua and his men have arrested over 1,400 illegal miners. The immediate question that arises is what is being done to these illegal miners and their principals. To help us navigate that, I wish to invite another Dominic, this time the Attorney General.
We ain't some who team cause watching and so I'm not so Jim or had a sense of body in that do be Romania. Only ever seen him near some conscience. Politics avenue.